What's going on, fam? What's going on, fam? What's going on, fam? Hey, what's going on, fam? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin podcast. Yes, it is that time again for the Arrington Gavin podcast, the show where you get to chop it up with your favorite, your homie, your bro, your I don't know what you call me. I hope I'm your friend. Being that you tune into the show, I hope I'm your friend, and you get to enjoy a great sit down convo with your homie every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time via podcast. Again, wherever you get your podcast from. Also, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via YouTube. Again, the YouTube channel is R Smooth Club Podcast. The letter R, then the word smooth, then the word club, then the word media. I think I just said R Smooth Club Podcast, but R Smooth Club Media is our YouTube channel. You can also watch us on X at R Smooth Club Media. But I think to be more direct, it's like R_S_C_media on X. And you can also tune into our Facebook. Please follow our Facebook page at R Smooth Club. R Smooth Club Podcast is our Facebook page. So happy Monday, y'all. Happy MLK Day. A lot of you are probably off at the moment from your from work. So please sit back, relax, enjoy. And I'm thank you for taking out the time out of your chillax day to tune into the Arrington Gavin podcast, brought to you by Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Rugged is the new smooth. What else do I have for you? That's about it for the intro. I always try not to forget what's the right things to say all in the beginning. So it won't be like, oh, I forgot to mention, because I do that a lot. But hey, it's a podcast, it's mine. I could care less. It's yeah. I'm not that professional kind of person. Yeah, I want to be. I always try to be professional, but it's like, I, what I'm talking with my friends. So hey, I'm just gonna, do whatever. Oh man, so what is new? What's the dealio? Okay, it is Monday, and it is a huge season on the political scene because it's the Iowa caucuses. So, for the presidential election right now, the top three Republican presidential candidates: former President Donald Trump, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and former Governor of South Carolina and former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. They have been really in Iowa for like the past, I feel like 2 weeks. They've had debates, they've had uh, campaign events, rallies, you name it. And it's actually one of their coldest because Iowa is like bone chilling cold right now, snowing, freezing. It's a lot, but the candidates knows how important the state of Iowa is. It's like one of their first major events that occurs during the presidential season. So what it is that this is kind of like the final process for Iowa voters to really say, okay, look, who is going to be my candidate? This is the last chance to promote yourself to the people of Iowa, because Iowa's a fairly big state, and it's a very important state when it comes to these presidential elections. So they've already had a total of maybe six, I want to say six debates that I can recall, Republican presidential debates. All of them, to my knowledge, Donald Trump has not been in attendance at all. I've watched about four out of the five or six that they've had so far, and yeah, Trump has never been in attendance. Has that hurt him at all? No, he is still kicking ass in the polls. People still want, they're voting for him. It's not hurting his credibility. It's not hurting his campaign. It's actually every issue, every controversial story that occurs to President Trump, it helps his the polls go up for him. It helps his campaign. And it's funny because we're literally at the level where a person does not have to show his face at any debate to say, hey, look, why you should vote for me. He's literally saying, look, I can kick back because people like me anyway. I don't need to do nothing. I mean, why not? He say it's a dub on his side because he literally does not have to try hard and do the whole hour, 2 hour plus long debate, answering questions. That like why do it? All I gotta do is just show up to my events, talk, joke around with the people. They love me anyway. All I gotta do, strengthen my tan, because let's be honest, how are you like still orange tan in a snowy winter blizzard? Like how does that work? All right. Anyway, but but literally still he is leading. As of right now, the most recent debate was between Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley, and it's really like, they're fighting for second place. Now, excuse me, not second place for VP candidate, because a lot of them have already spoken against President Trump, and I'll feel like it'll be pretty awkward if I've criticized you, a lot throughout this whole campaign season, and then you're gonna hit me up to be your VP. Like, no, I wouldn't do such a thing. Now, it has been done, because if you consider who our current president is in Joe Biden, him and Kamala Harris was on that debate stage together, going back and forth, back and forth. But yet he has appointed her as VP. A lot of people have criticized Kamala Harris as being one of the worst vice presidents ever. I think it's a little harsh, because again, what is your main reason? Is the fact that you feel like she doesn't speak up a lot? I mean, what is their specific reason? I really don't know. I can't say I dislike Kamala Harris at all. I mean, really, I can never criticize a VP, because I don't pay attention to the VP. I pay attention to who's at the top, and that's the president. So I can care less about who's your VP candidate. Now, you're probably saying, well, Arrington, but what if something happens to the president? Then guess what? The VP will be the next president. I understand that. But I'm telling you, I've never been that individual that has paid attention at vice presidents. I just haven't. Bite me. I could care less. But people just do not like Kamala Harris. They don't want her to run. They criticize her a lot. And is the way she does her speeches or something, with the whole talking, is people when they when they use their hands a lot, is it like you're not buying it when they always do their hands like, let's see here, like Blasey, like is it that, like, what is the deal? I don't know, but I'm curious. And maybe I just need to reach out to people that just on the street, like, hey, look, are you a Kamala Harris fan? No? Okay, why not? Speak your reason. Bam. What else is new? So yeah, so you got the Iowa caucuses happening. Literally every single news outlet is doing some special coverage in Iowa. They of course have their reporters out there and heading, they're in different location, different debates and all that good stuff. And yeah, they are really excuse me, I like sneezed before this this episode went live. And when I sneeze, it tends to tickle my throat, and now it's like I got to tickle throughout the whole entire show, and I can't stand it. But anyways, yes, you got the Iowa caucuses, and I'm just curious, and I want to ask you guys. Please leave a comment in our in our YouTube channel, or on our any of our social medias, on our Facebook. Um, what's your take on the presidential candidates, or just really the presidential race right now? Like, give me your thoughts. Are you wanting to see uh uh do you want to see a repeat of Biden and Trump? Would you like to just see a new face in general? Uh in that White House, like, what, give me your thoughts. I want to get your thoughts this on this coverage. Really, I do. I want to get your thoughts on it. And actually, let me change this up a little bit here. How's that look? There we go. There we go. Um yeah, what's your thoughts on it, right? Um have you been tuning into it? Do you really care? uh are you up to have, in a sense, like, hey, it's whatever. I can, I can care less. Or are you really serious about this? Like, who have you been paying attention? And I've been honest throughout this whole entire program. Hey, look, as a guy that's a registered independent, I voted for Democrats, I voted for Republicans. I vote on person, not party. So I'm always intrigued, and I'm always tuning in and listening about what issues are you fighting for, and what is your reason to run, right? We have loads of candidates in all different parties. Initially, we had almost 15, 14 candidates on the Republican side that was running for president. Obviously, that number has dropped because once you get further on into the race, you start seeing, okay, if my numbers are not picking up, well, I'm just gonna drop the race. I'm not gonna waste any time. So yeah, so as of right now, you have three people. Now, recently, the last person that dropped out of their dropped their campaign was Chris Christie. Now, political commentators, strategists have said, hey, look, if Chris Christie voters are really leaning towards Nikki Haley, so that means whoever drops, their voters are mainly going to go to them. Now, I've actually read pretty recent. Oh God, what? Oh my Lord. Oh, Trump. No, I'm sorry. If Nikki Haley's voters, majority of Nikki Haley's voters does not want Trump to be in office. So if she drops out of the race, then those voters are actually possibly going to be voting for Joe Biden, which is that's a pretty big that's a lot of voters because Nikki Haley was she was the very first person to uh announce her presidential campaign to launch her run for president of the United States, the very first one. And she started off at dead last, and just because of those debates, she has continued to build up in those numbers and continue to just climb up because she's been kicking ass in those debates. And I'll give her props. She's the only female there. She's been very vocal about speaking against Donald Trump. She's like saying, "Hey, look, yeah, I voted for him. I was a part of his administration, but I'm gonna share why he can't be in office again." And that's respect, especially when you're within your own party. Um, Obviously, the public does not want Joe Biden in. Uh, when you look at the argument of his age and you see him physically, you're like, ugh, that Joker, he does not need to be back in office for no 4 more years. And I can't disagree with that. I really can't, because my thing is, it's who could you live in under another Biden term, a Biden era. Now, honestly, I have not been affected by any means. Now, yes, certain costs are increasing. You get, it's like, wow, this is this much, this is that much. I get it. I get it. I get it. But honestly, me personally, it does not affect me. Um, that being said, with the candidates that we have running, I'll share my thoughts on each one very quickly while we have this. So again, Nikki Haley, if Nikki Haley wins, it's an administration, or it's an administration or an era where, yeah, I could still live comfortably under her administration. She has never been, in my opinion, very extreme on like a far right uh uh politician. Again, she's quick to disagree with people within her party, which is respect. You never want to just be like, oh, I'm just going to be like a yes man and always say yes to whatever we vote on. That's that. No, you don't do that. Desantis, I don't care for, because I don't like he's the whole taking African American studies out of your local schools. Like, I don't like that. I don't agree with it. To me, he is possibly just as bad as Donald Trump is. Um, so I would say no to DeSantis. Nikki Haley, I'm cool with. If Chris Christie was in office, I'll be cool with too. You When you look at Haley, when you look at Chris Christie, in my opinion, they're literally like we still have some good people on both sides. Like you still okay, we can disagree, but I respect you. And that's where I can say to Chris Christie. Um Nikki Haley as well. Now, Nikki Haley's got herself some hot water with her response on slavery. Now, somebody had asked her a question about it. She really didn't give an open, honest answer on it. Maybe she just didn't want to say the wrong stuff and ruin her campaign. But again, her response in general didn't really didn't help, because she was like saying, what's your thoughts on it? She answered a question with a question, and it's wasn't the best thing, but as of right now, it didn't look like that really affected her campaign. So she's still in the run. Now moving on to the Democratic side, of course, you have current President Joe Biden running again. He's currently 81 years old. The reason why I'm not supporting President Biden is because, in all honesty, our goal was to get Trump out of office. That was the goal all around. If you disagree with that, please hit me up so we can have the conversation. But I honestly would say that the goal was to get Trump out of office. I mean, yes, to get Trump out of office by any means necessary. Now, if it was a younger president, so say like a Pete Buttigieg, who's like in his late 30s, yeah, people wouldn't even been thinking about saying, "Oh, he's running again. Oh no," but they wouldn't care. Biden being in office, which, let's be honest, Biden was a part of an administration that was an historic administration, because you had the first African American president, the first president of color, the first African American ever elected into office as president of the United States, first black African American president. So, Biden at the time really didn't have known stuff. Yes, he was a politician for a long time, so he obviously had the experience. He knew everybody, but to the people, we're just like, hey, look, we gotta get him out. So when he wins, I don't think people would thought that Biden would want to run again. They just assume that, okay, look, you got to pick it up, get everybody comfortable, avoid all the division, get everybody happy and comfortable again. They ain't just gonna retire and then moving on for the next person. So a lot of people are not expecting him to be running again for office. A lot of people who are in support of Joe Biden, they're always going to say, okay, he was old to begin with, which is very true. When people voted for him, he was an old man to begin with. He wasn't young. So in that case, again, I've never been a vocal person about his age. I just know that Biden doesn't help his case when they do talk about his age, because of his response and just the way he communicates to the press and things like that. It doesn't help. It doesn't help when the camera's always on him and they might catch him stumble. That doesn't help, because throughout his whole term, we've caught him stumble at least 4 to 5 times. Now, again, that was spread out very far away, but it didn't make voters comfortable. It didn't help anybody's case with that. So, honestly, I don't support Trump. I don't support Biden. I don't want to see a repeat of them. I do want to see some new faces. I was, I'm still in the Democratic side. You have a gentleman who by the name of Dean Phillips, who's a congressman out of Minnesota. You also have Marianne Williamson, who is a motivational speaker, businesswoman, author. She's run before for president. And then you have Cenk Uygur, who is the founder of the Young Turks, a very, very, very famous, probably one of the largest independent progressive media companies in the world. I mean, I'm like 5 million or 5 billion views a year or something, or in total. I mean, they are extremely popular and have great content as well too. I'm subscribed. I tune into their show and support them. But those are your Democratic candidates. Now, moving on to the third party, you have RFK Jr., Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who initially was running as a Democrat, but then he moved into the as an independent. So those voters can really kind of pull away from the Trump and Biden. So it's gonna be quite an interesting election. You also have Dr. Cornel West, professor of Princeton and Harvard, I believe at the same time, or Yale and Harvard, one of the two. He's an Ivy League professor, very intelligent man. He's running for office now. He is early, I'm gonna say early 70s. Robert F. Kennedy, 60s. um, who else? Oh, Jill Stein. Jill Stein is a two-time presidential nominee from the Green Party. She is also running for office. So you have all these candidates, and everybody's saying, okay, look, I can do this. I got this. I have what it takes to be president of these United States of America. But again, people really are just losing their faith when it comes to public office. People are tired of the back and forth arguments, because at the end of the day, it's like you guys are arguing amongst yourselves on personal reasons, but what about us? We're suffering. You guys at the end of the day are protected. You got great benefits. You still get paid. If we have a shutdown, that doesn't affect your pockets, but it affects the people, the American people, the people that voted for you guys to get in office. I'm so sick and tired of seeing people, residents, continue to hear so-called promises being made from their officials, and not a damn one is ever fulfilled. The only thing that's fulfilled is more and more heartache, more and more suffering. It's been old. It's been getting old. Now I'm still, I'm still a young buck, but to our peers, to our parents, our grandparents, I mean, they've seen it, been there, done that. But for me, I'm at least trying to encourage my friends, and other young people, the importance of voting and having the knowledge behind it, because politicians take advantage of people that don't have the knowledge. There are some politicians out there that really take advantage of the weak, and then there's some good politicians that, in my mind, are community leaders. They're trying to help lead. They're trying to help uplift their communities. I know a lot of them personally. They're my best of friends, really good friends, and they're doing great stuff in their community. And it's like you want to see them hit it higher, but honestly, their main mission is their local area, or their, just their state. They want to keep fulfilling that, and that's okay. But when it comes to your governors, your congressmen, your U.S. senators, like, they have got to step it up. And then on top of that too, just these party systems, man, like, start speaking up. Like, I mean, it's just it's a lot. But anyway, I say all that to say, this is Monday, MLK Day. It's the start of the Iowa caucus. So throughout this week, you're going to be hearing a lot from the candidates, different events, interviews, special coverage, again, from all different outlets, all different media outlets. So News Nation has some great coverage. I highly recommend to check out News Nation. They are an up and coming, unbiased cable news network that has really been growing fast. Again, I'm a huge fan because it's unbiased. They're not really siding with the right or the left. They're just, hey, giving you straight news and what the people want to hear. They can use a few more, some personalities that I would love to see them on, to help with that independent mindset, in a sense, because sometimes you kind of, they be on the fence with, like, okay, y'all, some of y'all, yeah, I'm not liking y'all answers. I'm not liking I'm not liking your responses, and all this stuff. Like, sometimes you kind of look at them leaning a little more towards one side, and I'm like, all right, don't start this. But I would say, as of right now, they're a great source, and I highly recommend to check them out. News Nation, unbiased news. They have a special coverage starting tonight, I believe, with Dan Abrams, Elizabeth Vargas, and Chris Cuomo. So it's gonna be good. So you should check them out. Of course, you have your CNN has some special coverage. They actually started some coverage yesterday on Sunday. Who else? Who else? MSNBC, of course, has great coverage. Fox News has great coverage. All of them have, good coverage. All of them, is news for a reason. But yeah, just tune into your news outlets, and if you're more on the digital outlets, I mean, that's a great thing too. I mean, if you're not a person that loves to really watch the news, that's okay. But at least get informed on some way. And when I mean by digital, I mean like nobody really reads a newspaper, but they do digitally. So whether if it's the Washington Post, New York Times, the Associated Press, um, um, the Root, the Griot. Oh, I love the Griot. The Griot is another great outlet. Who else? Who else? There's so many other platforms, man. I highly recommend. I can't think of it at the moment right now, but just be sure to continue to tune in to those just those outlets, and tune into the Iowa caucus race, because it is some great coverage. So look, we're gonna a move on to more what I want to talk about with y'all. But actually, I'm gonna go on a quick commercial break. We'll come back with more of the Arrington Gavin podcast.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
It's a handsome devil, I tell you there. Rugged is the new smooth. Man, you know what I can't stand, yo? I can't stand when when you're like really tired and you've been like doing a lot, and obviously when your body's telling you need to rest and take a nap. Because for me, I get the twitching, like when my eyes twitch or my eyebrows twitching. Like right now, my eye is twitching like crazy, but hopefully y'all can't really notice it. But you probably gonna be like, all right, now I'm gonna stare at that man's eye throughout this whole show. But yeah, it's twitching bad. Moving on. So as you know, we have been talking about unequal pay wages amongst black actresses, and really just the rest in Hollywood. So obviously female actors do not get paid the similar amounts of a male actor gets paid. Whether if you're lead or supportive role, you just don't make that equal amount of money. Now last year, which really wasn't too long ago, but last year, actress Tarji P. Henson, who has an amazing resume as an actress, nominated for an Oscar, and she's won many other awards besides that. But she had, come out of just, getting very emotional, because she's saying, look, 20 plus years I've worked hard. My resume says it all. I've been doing so great in the game, yet my wages are not showing what I have accomplished. I'm doing all this hard work for pennies. She said the math is not mathing. Since then, everybody has, of course, shared their frustration when it comes to unequal pay wages. They've showed their support for Taraji. Some, not even just women, but men as well. I've spoken about this plenty of times on my radio show In Your City with my fam, Ciroc and Cam and Michelle. And we continue to talk about just the issue when it comes to not getting what you're worth. Now, Michelle had hit it real deep on our radio show, because she had said the sad thing is the highest, when it comes to women really getting paid a lot of money, right? The only thing that they'll make the most money is something that they choose not to do, and but they do it because of the money. And the sad thing is they will only make money, she said, is when it comes to their bodies. Sex sells. We see it now with OnlyFans, right? We see it with my wife and I were talking. She brought up at that time lingerie football. When it comes to women's sports, what people don't support women's sports because, for one, it doesn't seem that entertaining to them. Two, sports viewership is predominantly males, and then when women do want to watch it, they want to watch males. But when it comes to female sports, you can never sell tickets. Their arenas are like damn near empty. But lingerie football wasn't. Lingerie football was sold out because you got a bunch of freaks out there that want to see some half naked women. I mean, and it's extremely sad because women only make money when they have to disrespect themselves, right? They only make a lot of money when they really are disrespecting themselves. But when they want to show respect to themselves, they don't get the respect that they deserve. So Tarji P is still continuing to fight a good fight for equal pay amongst actresses. Now, here's when we got to get deep with it, because Tarji is an icon in the Black community. When it comes to top Black actresses, Tarji, you have to have Taraji's name on that list. But in my opinion, and please guys, correct me if I'm wrong, leave a comment on or anything, just let me know. Tarji is campaigning this to the wrong crowd. Let that sink in. Tarji P. Henson is campaigning this protest to the wrong crowd. She's campaigning it to people like me and you. Now, whoever's listening to this, I don't know how much you're making, but I'll just say, like, she is talking to people that are either making between, I don't know, I'll just say this. Majority of her audience is probably the ones that are not making high six figures or even like 150,000. She's talking to an audience that don't have a lot of money. So when she is fighting for, like, say, look, Benjamin Button, I made 150,000. Brad Pitt made 10 million. But to some people, they're like, girl, get that 150,000, leave me the hell alone. But there's a video of her. There's a video of her explaining honestly how much she made of that 150,000. So being that she had a team, she had to she had to disperse that certain levels of their contract. I think there's a percentage that they get. I forgot how much. And then she said that out of that 150,000, she only was leaving with $30,000. Now, at the time, her son was in private school, 30 grand a year. It was time to pay up. So she's saying within that, like, 4 months, 6 months, she did not make any money. So it was on to the next film. Now, I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate. Tarji P. Henson is an actress, yes. Tarji P. Henson, I'm pretty sure, has endorsement deals. Now, I don't know how much she's making from those endorsement deals, but please give the crowd, I need to hear about what you made within the year. Like, by the end of the year, how much did you pull in? That's what I want to know, more than, saying, okay, look, I did this film, I made, and it's still not fair. I'm not trying to avoid what her argument is, because in all honesty, for that film, and she was nominated for, like, best supporting role, Tarji should have easily been pocketing, I'm gonna say, $3.5 million to 4. And I'm just, and that's, to me, like, at the lowest. If you want to continue to get higher, but at the end of the day, like, I'm not gonna say that she should have gotten the exact same amount as Brad Pitt with 10 million. He is the lead actress. I mean, he is the lead in that role. When you're promoting this film, you're not just promoting, hey, uh uh um Taraji P. Henson, check out this film. Because if you take out Brad Pitt out of that film, do you say, oh, this film is gonna get same amount of recognition, same amount of notoriety if we had Brad Pitt? Because is it gonna get the same amount of recognition with just Taraji P. Henson? And if you didn't have Brad Pitt, is it still gonna have the same notoriety? No. You have those diehard Brad Pitt fans. My wife made a great point. Globally, Brad Pitt is probably more famous than Taraji. So again, you got to put that in consideration. Now, this is not Brad Pitt against Taraji. This is just, again, about why is it that women are not getting what they're worth? Why are they not getting paid what they're worth? Recently, excuse me, TMZ followed up with actress Vivica A. Fox. They asked her, hey, look, what's your thoughts on Taraji P. Henson speaking out about the lack of respect Black actresses and really just female actors in general are receiving in Hollywood with low wages? Vivica said, I'm all here for my sisters in film, TV and film, for fighting amongst, for supporting one another. So she's in agreement with that. Then she was basically asked, hey, have you ever experienced in a lack of respect with your salary? She said no. She's like, I've never experienced that in my career. But again, I'm all for my sisters continue to thrive and do great things in in Hollywood. But she said, but I'm okay, but I'm good. I'm good. I just want you to know that I'm good. And she got criticized for that. She got criticized because a lot of people looked at that as a kick in the face to Taraji P. Henson and what she's fighting for. Now, here's what I have to say about that. Y'all need to shut up, because Vivica Fox gave you her honest answer. She gave you an honest response. She did not ever say, I don't know what Taraji's talking about. She's lying, this and that. No. The person asked, have you ever experienced that? And she gave them an honest ass answer. And she said, no, I have not. But I'm always here for supporting my sisters in theater. So that means she's supporting her to get paid more. That's a great thing. But people always quick to criticize, and people like Gabrielle Union, because Gabrielle Union threw a little shade in there, not verbally, but she liked a comment of an individual who basically said, hey, look, Vivica, your success cannot match up to Taraji P. Henson. So look, on to the next. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful, because here's the thing. Black people, we are always quick to divide in our own culture. It's always a competition. No, here's the thing. Vivica Fox, in my mind, is an icon in the Black community. Easy. Vivica Fox has been on Independence Day, Set It Off, Soul Food, Kingdom Come. She's been on countless of well-known films, comedy, drama, you name it. She's a very versatile actress. She has said that has not happened to me. And maybe it's a question on, was she settled with what she, got? Did she say, hey, look, I can work with this and keep it moving? Because for me, if I was an actor, I would obviously want what I'm worth if I'm working extremely hard. Now, sometimes it's all about the project and not what you're pocketing. Let me explain a little more. Say I'm approached with a film that is a guaranteed about to be a cult classic, a well-known film that's gonna be like, it's gonna be the best of all times. Like, it's gonna be the best of all times. And whether if it's a Harry Potter movie or a Twilight or a Fast and Furious, you name it, it's bound to be a global phenomenon. I'm used to getting paid 100,000. I'm getting paid 100,000. That's my normal price for all these films. I've been in the game for about 15 years, and I'm always asked for 100,000 at the least. But this film has the guaranteed potential to be one of the largest grossing, largest successful films in the world. They say, Arrington, we're gonna give you half of that film. I mean, we're gonna pay you half for this film. Now, I can easily say hell no, because I ain't doing that. And how much, am I doing, a lot? Is it going to be a lot of work for me? Like, what's my role? Now they say, hey, look, you're going to play a supportive role, but we're going to give you 50,000 instead of 100,000, knowing that supportive role or lead role, 100 is my go-to. Now 50,000, they say, hey, look, we're going to give you 50,000, and that's it. Now you're probably going to say, well, Arrington, you need to uh not uh 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 lower your talent, lower your worth, and you need to find something where you're worth and be more respected. But sometimes, guys, projects is my way of continuing to build some recognition. So I say like this. I would say yes. That's just me. I would say yes. And then I would use that success to continue uh uh to what's the word I'm looking for? I would use that as almost like head of my press kit or head of my, when I'm trying to get other gigs, I'm be like, I was on the like that's something, and now that's in your resume. Now I'm not gonna be like doing that on a regular, okay? But there is some projects that you can say, okay, look, I think my mindset is more on this project than the money. Now, at the end, now again, agree to disagree, but sometimes you just have to always know, okay, how can I, how can I, what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost like taking a gamble or investing. How can I make this investment? How can I turn this small investment into a very large one? Think of it like that. That's how I'm getting it. But again, I'm ranting, but Taraji P. Henson, in order for her campaign to thrive, in order for her protest for for better wages for female, she's gonna have to, you got to hit it to the people who pay those, who signs your checks. Okay, it's just you telling the world, eh. I mean, you just have to have a solution. You have to have a solution. Uh, and the solution could be to protest the movie theaters, or to avoid certain streaming services. I don't know, but it's just going to be so hard to to really start seeing a change in South. Now, I will give credit to 50 Cent. 50 Cent has already been campaigning to bring Taraji to the Power series, and he's even said out publicly, like, I will give you the same salary I paid for Mary J. Blige to be on the show. Mary J. Blige is making 400 grand a year. A year. How many films have Mary J. Blige been in to get 400 grand excuse, not a year, an episode, 400 grand an episode. She's getting paid 400 grand an episode. So if she's doing 8 episodes, that's already like 3.5 million dollars right there. 400 grand per episode. So she's doing 12. I mean, that's good money. And I mean, I know for sure Mary J only been probably like in like, she had a couple of, I mean, I remember she was in the Jamie Foxx show for that small stint. She did Medea movie once, Black Nativity. I don't know what other movie she was in besides that, but Taraji got good people. She got a good support team. But in further with this story, Monique, comedian Monique and actress Monique, Oscar winner Monique, the one from Precious. Uh, she is coming out speaking against, of course, her favorite person in the world, Oprah Winfrey. I I'm exaggerating when I say that. She can't stand Oprah. She's criticizing Oprah because basically she's saying Oprah could have done something, could have helped better, and uh uh with the whole situation with Taraji and the color purple and all this stuff, because Taraji was crying during a press tour, talking about the color purple, and there was stories that apparently Taraji was saying that she has to drive herself to set, and they got to drive in a rental car, and um just again unfair wages, and it's not looking too pretty. It's not looking pretty. But Monique is an individual, in my opinion, that she has nothing else better to do but to run her mouth about nonsense. I'm not a fan of Monique comedy wise. She's a great actress. Obviously she still is a pop culture known figure, pop culture icon. I mean, the Parkers, the Parkers was a very popular sitcom show. Um, she won I believe she won an Oscar for a supporting role in Precious, many NAACP Image Awards. She has her accomplishments, but Monique has started to lose it when she came out with the protest of, hey, I want to protest against Netflix because uh, racial bias and gender bias. Now, Monique had a case. Later on, when you start really getting in the details of stuff, she really had a case. For me, when you start saying, okay, my brothers Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle making this, I need to be making some of this. I'm like, now slow your roll, because again, I'm just basing on how I feel about her stand up wise. Monique is not my cup of tea as a stand up comedian. She's not. She also she when she came out with that protest, she was hoping that everybody would just not watch Netflix. What? Okay, what? Netflix has a global fan base. Okay, now I'm gonna just be honest. I believe 100% of the black community knows who Monique is. Okay, so you definitely grasp the attention of the black people. Now, how do I think 100% white people know who Monique is? No, I don't even think 20% knows who Monique is. Um, you're asking a whole group of people to protest Netflix, who is the largest streaming platform ever, with all the great all the great videos and all. No. Now, if you wanted to say, okay, look, Dave Chappelle kind of did something similar, but Dave Chappelle, what he did was protest against his show. His show. He didn't say protest never. He just said, just my show. Don't watch my show. Very easy. Didn't last long. It was over with. Her frustration was the fact that comedian Amy Schumer, was banking in millions, and her salary was much higher than Monique. That's where it comes to the racial bias. Gender bias was okay. Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock making a lot more. She Monique expects huge ass pay raises based on, I won an award, I have this in my resume, why not give me what I'm worth? Now, guys, it's all about what have you done for me lately. If I say I did this 20 years ago and I haven't made a movie um within the last 5 years, and you really haven't heard from me in a while, why do I expect you to give me huge amounts of money? What have you done for me lately? Like, it's just no. Now I can say this. if if I if 5 years ago I was on the top of the mountain and I have 20 years in the game and I was at the top and then I just said I'm gonna lay low for a little bit and then wait for another 5 years, because I'm pretty sure if if um if Eddie Murphy wanted to come out with a special, I'm pretty sure they would pay him loads of money. Absolutely, absolutely. No ifs or no. Oh, they're gonna give him the money. Um, it's just Monique was it turned out to be like a long like lawsuit process that she I think might be still going on. The funny thing is, recently Monique had a special on Netflix, and guess what? It wasn't good. It was not good at all. We don't know. We haven't verified how much she received from that special, but she had a special on Netflix, and it was not that good. So now Netflix is gonna be like, were we wrong? Look at the percentage numbers of your special. It was not good. Anyway, again, I like to rant, but I could care less. Monique is speaking out on about Oprah with the whole again, Tarji P and Color Purple. And Monique is basically saying that Oprah's in the wrong because her and Oprah had beef during the Precious time, Harpo Studios, her oh gosh, what was the director's name? Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry. Monique don't like any of it. Well, uh um she's now buddy um with Lee Daniels, but she still don't like Oprah and Tyler Perry. And honestly, I don't think that's hurting Oprah's feelings. That's not hurting Oprah's feelings at all. She's like, let her talk. I mean, just what is that gonna do? And now now Oprah is. I mean, Monique is back to talking about Oprah. I mean, she don't care. I mean, she really doesn't. And I guess it's even more confidence for her, just the fact that, hey, look, Cat Williams just had the interview of the year, really, and this is just the start of the year. But Cat Williams can say what he wants and still be successful. Why can't I? She gonna talk her mess. She's gonna talk her mess, and it's just that's just the name of the game. She's gonna continue to discuss her frustration about the industry, about why Oprah and Tyler Perry are the villains, and I'm trying to actually see da, 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 da. See, Monique is actually, she's kind of saying during her time on Precious is I was basically in the same boat as Taraji. Like she does not like Oprah. Now, I'm not sure. I think Oprah's a part of the production team with the most recent Color Purple. I don't think she is like the one that signs the checks. Um, I think she was definitely just a part of the production team and a part of the press tour, because I mean Harper was her original role. Like that's the role that really was on the top of Oprah's acting career, and she played it really good too. She played it very great, and now the most recent Color Purple has been receiving high reviews. Loads of their talent in that movie has been nominated or has even won awards. The box office has won. I have yet to see the movie yet. I'm not crazy about musicals, but eventually I will see it. I'll probably just wait until it uh I'll probably just wait and see it once it gets to like Netflix, or I don't know, Netflix or what else would I see it on? Any of the streaming service. There's so many streaming services I start losing track. But yeah, that's I wanted to kind of just share a little bit about that. Monique is back in the limelight talking about people. What else is new? Yes. So moving on, I don't know if y'all have checked out Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith, sports reporter, journalist, talk show host. actor. The man is extremely talented. I'm a huge fan of Stephen A. Smith. He hosts of obviously one of the probably the number one sports debate show, First Take, which is on ESPN. But he also is the host of his successful podcast called The Stephen A. Smith Show. And on his show, this man, when I tell you, this man had a lot to say. He had went off on another sports reporter by the name of uh uh Jason Whitlock. Now, for those who are unfamiliar of who Jason Whitlock is, let me go ahead and get that out the way. Well, for those who are unfamiliar with who Jason Whitlock is, Jason Whitlock is a currently he's a conservative talk show host. He is the host of Fearless. I believe that's the name, Fearless with Jason Whitlock on Blaze TV. Blaze is owned by conservative commentator Glenn Beck. But prior to that, gosh, let me get this crap off. Prior to that, he was a regular on ESPN, and he was a columnist, journalist, all you name it, he was in it. From there he went on to FS1. He was the host of I believe Speak Yourself with Marcellus Wiley. I believe it was Speak Yourself, yeah. And he was there for a minute, and then all of a sudden, he left from that. Didn't know what was where he was doing or what he was doing. And then obviously now he's on the Blaze, been on there for quite a minute. And that's more up his alley, because Jason has always been that like conservative, guy, right? So he's always been on the opposing end of athletes, the opposing end of anything black. I mean, honestly, I don't know how else I can put it. He's always been on the opposing end of anything black. And I recommend you all to go on YouTube, type in Roland Martin and Jason Whitlock. They had a sit down conversation debate, really, and it was priceless. Oh, it was so good. But Stephen A. Smith had chewed Jason Whitlock a new one, because Jason Whitlock has been very vocal on his show about Stephen A. Smith and really taking personal shots. I mean, saying everything is a lie with his style of journalism, his book, him playing sports in college. He basically just saying everything he talks about is all a lie. Jason Whitlock is a very unlikable person, at least on my side of town. Now, if you're a strong conservative, you love Jason Whitlock, because Jason Whitlock is that black person that was always going to be like, I'm not for this. I'm not there. There's black people are wrong, and all white people need is like to hear that one person. See, Jason said it, like he's the voice of all black people. No, he's not. He's not. Jason is he is an interesting person. That's all I can say. But Stephen A. Smith goes ham on him by calling him I can't even repeat it. I'll just say it like this. Stephen A. Smith started the conversation saying, I've already spoken with my pastor. I said, please forgive me for what I'm about to say. I mean, he already apologized for what he was about to say about this guy. And in all honesty, I'm glad he did, because he was saying stuff. I was just like, oh, I felt so bad. Like, oh, clutch my pearls. Oh, did he just out? He went for this man's life. But you know what? You reap what you sow, Jason. You reap what you sow. You're big on talking about your faith and stuff. You should know better. Because Jason, man, be talking some wild stuff until it's like it really irritates you. Like, can you say anything nice about anybody? Like, he's been critical still to this day of Deion Sanders. Why? Like, say, oh, he's Jason has literally he found 2 players that and I believe was on the Colorado team and saying, "Oh yeah, he does this with his this is how Deion Sanders really acts like amongst players, and he has this and that. This you want to know the truth? I have the truth. It's garbage, dude. You found 2 cats that got cut from probably doing stupid stuff. So now to them, they're like, wow, I can just go on this show, be famous, and speak my truth. No, trust me, they never liked him from the get-go. It's just stuff like that be irritating me, man. But please, y'all have got to see this rant that Stephen A. Smith had on his show about Jason Whitlock, and I'm pretty sure it might have been like a part 2. Like he literally spent 45 minutes just like going ham on this guy, saying, "Hey, look, don't come after me because I know the truth about you, kid." And that's really what it was. That's really what it was. I mean, he called him, oh, whoo, that Joker called him some. Let me tell you something. That Joker called him so many bad names and slur. I'm like, oh my gosh, he cussed and called him. Woo, it was hard. But you know what's funny though? In my mind, and I was reading the comments, they're like saying, "Man, Stephen A. Smith trying to get them Shannon Sharp, them Club Shay Shay numbers right now." Cause see, Club Shay Shay, they got everybody beat. Club Shay Shay got everybody beat by a landslide. Like that Cat Williams episode, that's retirement for Shannon, man. I think the last time I saw it was 37 million views. It might be more. It might be 50 by now, but yeah, please check out this Stephen A. Smith episode of when he goes ham on Jason Whitlock. It is a great, it's just I loved it because again, I know what kind of person Jason Whitlock is. I know what he is. He's a gentleman who is literally saying, okay, look, I can make more money by talking all of the bad things about my own kind. And even if I'm in agreement with them, I can still make a lot of money by being on the opposite end. And that's what it is. He might be saying, hey, look, it's money over morals at this point. And that's what it is. Because he is, his platform, man, is just not it's not positive in my opinion. It really isn't. And I don't know if if some of you listeners and viewers that support the podcast, you might be a subscriber to the Blaze TV or has watched Blaze TV, or you might be conservative. But and that's fine. I love people of all sides, liberal, conservative. Look, I'm friends with everybody. I'll just say that I'm friends with everybody. I'm not married to a party, so I'm friends with everybody. But and I have nothing against the Blaze, the Blaze network, the Blaze TV network. No, I don't. I just it's a network that is catered to a specific base, and there's nothing wrong with that. You got your platforms like that. But yeah, doggone Stephen A, man, it's just whoo. And I'm trying to find if I could find any of his quotes, I would, but I don't think I don't think the root, I don't know if they have placed it on there, but that's okay. That's okay. But I'm gonna digress and okay, hold on. I'll say right here. Okay, Stephen A. Smith called Whitlock a whole piece of shit while looking directly into the camera and said, "He's sorry, fat piece of shit," in the calm voice. And that's just a little bit on that's just a little bit. Let's see. What lines I'm spending? Yeah, so yeah, so I will digress and move on to my final story before I end this conversation with you all. Comedian Kevin Hart. We all know Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is coming publicly about the about why he will never host really an award show or really just the Oscars. It might be just the Oscars, but I think award show in general. He's really just not going to be a fan of hosting any award shows in his future, because he's saying that award shows aren't comedy friendly anymore. This comes across recent comedian um Joe Coy. Joe Coy, who he was hosting this past Golden Globe Awards, which the Golden Globe Awards is a great night when you get to nominate people in TV and film. Um he had a monologue. I don't know how long it was, but his monologue obviously was very dry amongst the people in attendance. He wasn't getting a lot of laughs, this and the other. And then he was pretty much saying, like, dude, you gave me this position 10 days before uh I found about this that I'll be hosting this 10 days ago, and you expect me to have base these good jokes. And he was saying all the jokes that he was writing and putting out there, everybody was laughing. The ones that I'm assuming the Golden Globe squad or the network wrote for him, people weren't laughing at. But Kevin Hart just said, "Hey, look, I won't be hosting the Oscars again." Which he initially was, but at the time, the LGBTQ community was him, protesting the Oscars for having him hosted, because there was I believe a joke that he had put out on his social media that he made 10 years prior to when he was supposed to be hosting that Oscars. And I mean, they were trying to cancel him. He apologized. End of story. It's gone. But after that, you really haven't seen him even try to attempt or try to host anything. And the Oscars have been struggling trying to find a host, because I know Chris Rock, I believe, hosted twice. Jimmy Kimmel's hosted it multiple times. So many people have hosted the Oscars more than one occasion. Um, Joe Coy, this was his first, I believe, award show ever of hosting, and it was Golden Globes, which the Golden Globes, they try to be so uptight and uppity, but hey, you've had moments where Jim Carrey makes jokes and jabs, and Eddie Murphy makes jokes, or maybe throws an F bomb, like he it's a time where, yeah, you come dressed to a T, but you still gotta have fun. And Joe Coy is a hilarious and a great comedian, man. If you haven't checked out his material, man, please do. Joe Coy is a beast. He's always visiting the Hampton Roads area. I need to catch one of his shows in person, because he sells out arenas like that. Like he making his money. But Kevin Hart has come out saying, "Hey, look, award shows are not comedy friendly anymore." David Spade says that, "Hey, look, you basically you're they comedians don't get what they're deserving. They have to do so much work, and it's just like it's not worth it." Obviously Joe Coy is feeling the same way. And I think it's interesting. Now, actually, I'm gonna have a conversation with some of my friends in comedy to get their points on this, but I just wanted to bring this up because I just thought it was an interesting piece, and this is reported by Variety. And Kevin Hart, as you know, is one of the most successful comedians out there, and I know award shows would pay big money to have him host an award show, and he would do great. But I guess comedians just don't enjoy it now. If you're more of a commercialized comedian, which again I think Kevin Hart is that guy, like it will work. I know Cedric the Entertainer has hosted award shows many a times. Uh, I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting. I definitely got to get some more feedback on this, but uh, guys, that is all that I have for you for this episode. Again, look, y'all continue to enjoy your Monday. Stay blessed. Continue to work hard. And if you have any goals that you set up for 2024, keep on persevering them. I know I have. I'm trying to eat healthy, exercise more. Excuse me, take care of my temple. So if you're in the same path as me, hey, look, we can do this together and accomplish it. And you got to keep on fighting. Keep on fighting that good fight. And also, and yeah, y'all just gotta keep on keeping on, man. And thank you so much for continuing to tune in to the Arrington Gavin podcast, man. I truly appreciate it. We continue to see, high numbers on our viewerships and subscription. But if you haven't, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, R Smooth Club Media. Share with a friend, spread it to the rafters. We need higher views and higher subscriptions. I truly appreciate it. Also, tune in to my weekly radio show in your city, which airs every Sundays at 12 p.m. on WNSB Hot 91.1 FM, the soul of VA, hosted by myself along with my fam, comedian Ciroc Fox, host of Queen Michelle Young, and our also producer, Mr. Cam Godley. We talk about some great stuff, of course, when it comes to pop culture, entertainment, sport, news, politics. We talk about it all on the show. And of course, tune into the Arrington Gavin podcast Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time via podcast. So wherever you get your podcast, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin podcast as well as on YouTube. Rumble, yes, for all you Rumble subscribers out there, you can type in, you can find the Arrington Gavin podcast on Rumble. So be sure to follow us on there, follow us on X and all those platforms. But until next time, look, I'm out. I'm tired of talking with y'all because I am tired. I'm thirsty. I need me a drink. All right, y'all. Look, y'all be blessed. I'll see you next time. I'll see you on Wednesday here on the Arrington Gavin podcast. I'm out.